Starting off with number 1, we're going to be talking about the Kosatka submarine with a price tag of $2.2 million. Now, the Kosatka submarine, once you purchase it, you'll be able to start the Cayo Perico heist. And the Cayo Perico heist essentially is just a heist that you can make tons of money. And I'm talking about you can make like $1 million to $1.5 million. So yeah, it's going to make you a lot of money. Now here's the really good part about it. Now you can complete the heist solo. You don't need any friends to do it whatsoever, and it only takes around an hour to do. And it's actually a very easy heist in my opinion. But yeah, why is it so good? Yeah, like I said earlier, it is a solo heist. Plus there are many different options and like outcomes that you can choose and select for the Cayo Perico heist. Like there are tons of vehicles that you can pick and choose from for your approach, and there are tons of different like options that you can do with the Cayo Perico heist, which is why it's so good. You can also head over to Warstock website and then click on the Kosatka. You'll be able to add tons of different options and upgrades to the Kosatka submarine. You can change the color of your submarine, and that's going to cost you around $75K, which is not even that bad. But yeah, there's tons of different customization options, such as the sonar station, which will allow you to kind of, go underwater and hide off the radar. You can add guided missiles so that you can literally control missiles and just attack other players if you wanted to. And there's a weapon workshop, which is also pretty good because you can, let's say if you have like explosive ammo, you'll be able to walk up to it and then you can purchase all the ammo that you need. So you don't really need to go to the ammunition store to, buy that certain type of ammo, which is actually really good and it can save you tons of time. There's also a moon pool vehicle, but yeah, you can add the Sparrow helicopter. And this is one of the, best things about this. This Sparrow helicopter will allow you to make tons of money because it will allow you to easily access your submarine without even any problems. Because if you don't have this, then how else are you gonna, get out of your submarine? You're gonna have to either drive the submarine, which is super duper slow, or you're gonna have to request a boat from your interaction menu. And you don't want to do that because that's just gonna waste a ton of time. So if you buy the Sparrow helicopter, you'll be able to save a huge amount of time. Now you guys know that the Kosatka submarine will allow you to make tons of money, and it's a very good investment. Alright, moving on to the next spot on the list, we have the Oppressor Mark II. Now before you click off and go to the comments and complain, I'm not one of those griefers. No, I do not promote any of that stuff. This vehicle is super duper good for grinding because it's a very agile vehicle. It's also super fast with a top speed of 130 miles per hour if you hold the bumper button, because there's a way to make it much quicker. This vehicle is super duper expensive, priced at $8 million. Now with the trade price, you'll be able to pay, $6 million, but you'll have to own a terabyte and complete 5 client jobs as a boss, which are also very easy to do. This vehicle is super duper good because it has missiles, and it has around 25 missiles, but you need to own a terabyte to be able to customize this. Unfortunately, if you head over to the Terabyte and buy the special vehicle workshop, you'll be able to actually add some countermeasures. So you can add flares, the chaff, many different options, and those options are going to help you, prevent griefers from being able to attack you. I know I said the vehicle costs around $6 to $8 million, but it's very much worth it, especially if you're a grinder, because you'll be able to access, basically, you can literally go anywhere with this thing. There's nowhere that you cannot go with using the Oppressor Mark II. Now, why is this vehicle actually really good? Well, you can literally fly, you can fly on top of buildings, fly anywhere. You don't need to ride a bike, a super slow vehicle just to get around the map, or a slow helicopter. No, use the Oppressor Mark II and you'll be able to fly anywhere. So yeah, this is probably the best vehicle for transportation if you're a grinder. It also comes with a boost upgrade, so you just have to wait for the boost to recharge at the bottom, and then once it's full, you just click the boost button and then you'll be able to go super duper quick. But yeah, like I said earlier, if you are a grinder, you need to purchase this vehicle. Alright, the next vehicle we're going to talk about is the Nightshark. Now this vehicle is purchasable for $1.245 million. Now obviously you're gonna have to purchase it on Warstock, but here's the special thing about this vehicle. If you head over to the LS Customs or Mod Shop, you'll be able to add the window plates. So it's going to be very difficult to be shot out of it. Now, of course, you're still going to be able to get shot out of it, especially if you're in the, auto aim lobbies on controller, because people can just lock onto your character and just shoot you out of it. But yeah, these window armors are actually pretty good, especially if you're doing like missions with the NPCs. It's going to be difficult to get shot out of it. Another thing about this vehicle is that it can take 27 missiles from an Oppressor Mark II or any vehicle that has, homing missiles. The Oppressor Mark II only has 25 missiles. That means that they're going to run out of missiles before being able to, grief you and blow your car up. This vehicle is very, very, very good. Now, unfortunately, you're not able to shoot out of it. So if someone's attacking you, the only thing you're going to be able to use is the machine guns that are installed on the vehicle already. But there is a way to, fix that. If you remove the window plating from the vehicle, you'll be able to use any weapon that you have in your inventory that you would normally be able to use while driving. Now, of course, you can't use sniper in a RPG, but you'll be able to use your SMG and your regular weapons that you've been able to use while you're inside of the car. And you'll be able to throw sticky bombs while you're inside of the vehicle, but you're going to have to remove the window plating. Now, unfortunately, that kind of, prevents the purpose of buying this vehicle, because you're buying this vehicle for the armor protection and the explosive resistance. If you do want to shoot people out of your vehicle, you're going to have to remove the window plating. Also, this vehicle has a pretty decent speed, somewhere around 100 and something miles per hour, but it's actually pretty quick considering it's still an SUV. So at least it's not super duper slow like most of the vehicles in this game. Moving on to the next vehicle on this list, it's going to be the F160 Raiju. Now you can purchase this for $6.85 million. Now that is a ton of money, and that's super duper close to $7 million. But there is the trade price available. So the trade price is going to be $5.14 million, and that's still a ton of money. But you're going to have to complete the on parade missions as a leader. I'm assuming those missions are going to be from the Avenger, DLC or whatever. But here's why this vehicle is priced this much money. Now, this vehicle will allow you to hover. Unlike most of the jets in this game, you're only able to just fly them. But this jet allows you to literally hover around the map. So this makes it easy to land, like super duper easy to land. All you have to do is just hold the L stick button on controller, and then you'll be able to just hover around the map. Now, that's not the only good thing about this vehicle. Another thing about this vehicle is that you can go to stealth mode. Now, what does this mean? Well, you just click the right D-pad on your controller while you're flying, and you're going to notice that your character icon is going to blink. Now, as it's flashing, that means that you're currently in stealth mode, and that means that people will not be able to see your icon on the map. So essentially, you're going to be off the radar, and there is no ending timer for this. It's going to be unlimited. Now, the downsides of using the stealth mode is, of course, you're not able to shoot while you're using the stealth mode, which is kind of good because it would be totally unfair if you're able to shoot people while you're in the stealth mode. Now, this vehicle also comes with explosive machine guns and homing missiles. Now, the explosive machine guns aren't really super good compared to, the laser and the Hydra I meant. They're still pretty decent if you want to take out enemies. But yeah, the homing missiles are not bad. They're not super duper good, but they're, all right. But the explosive MGs are definitely going to be helpful whenever you're trying to take out tons of people, especially when you're in hover mode. That's when it's going to really thrive the most. When you're in hover mode and you're using the explosive MGs, it's going to be super duper good, considering you're going to be able to have precise aim since you're going to be flying at a slower rate of speed. Another thing about this vehicle is it's super duper quick. I think this is the fastest vehicle in the entire game. Not only the fastest jet or plane, but it's the fastest vehicle in the whole entire game. So the F160 Raiju has a top speed of 230 miles per hour, aka 374 kilometers per hour. But yeah, 235 miles per hour, that's literally the fastest vehicle in the game. Also, the Raiju is technically an armored vehicle, so with full armor, it only takes 3 homing missiles to be destroyed, which is not bad considering most other planes, they take 1 to 2 missiles to blow up. In my opinion, this is probably my favorite plane, and it's the fastest plane, so why not even purchase it? Now, this vehicle was introduced on June 13th, 2023, which was quite a while ago. That was already 2 years ago, which is insane. But yeah, it was introduced around the Mercenaries update back then. But yeah, when this came out, this vehicle was crazy because it had, the stealth capability and it had the weaponized stuff. All that combined just made this vehicle super duper good. The last thing we're going to talk about is you need to own an Imani tech vehicle. Now basically what this allows you to add different types of upgrades, but you need to own an agency to be able to actually add these upgrades. Some of the upgrades such as remote control vehicles, missile lock-on jammers, extended increased armor plating. Yeah, there's tons of different options to pick from. But yeah, my favorite one is the one where you're able to add the missile lock-on jammer. Now with this, basically all you have to do is purchase the thing and it will allow you to not get locked on by players. So perfect example, let's say if an Oppressor Mark II is just following you. Well, if you have the missile lock-on jammer, they literally won't be able to lock on to you. That literally prevents oppressors and other griefers from being able to attack you. So if you're going to be playing in a public session, this is going to be a very, very good investment. Now the downside to this is that most of these vehicles cost a lot of money. For example, one of my favorite vehicles with the Imani tech upgrade is called the Virtue, the Ocelot Virtue. Now this vehicle costs $2.98 million, so essentially $3 million. But yeah, and you'll be able to tell which vehicles include the Imani tech by looking in the description of the vehicle website. You're going to also need to own the vehicle workshop obviously from the agency, but yeah, that's not going to be that hard to own. So about the remote control thing that I said earlier, now this is going to allow you to control your car basically similar to the RC cars. You know how you can control them without even being inside of it? You can literally control your car easily. But yeah, the missile lock-on jammer is super duper good because you can literally prevent getting griefed. Finally, it took super long for them to add it, but yeah, now they're adding tons of different vehicles with the missile lock-on jammer, which is pretty good. Consider checking out this video on your screen right now.